December 21st, 1943. A routine training flight turns into a nightmare as a B-24 bomber crashes into the frozen Alaskan wilderness. Leon Crane, the sole survivor, finds himself alone amidst the unforgiving cold. With nothing but a parachute, 2 matchboxes, and a small knife, Crane is forced into an 81-day battle against the elements, hunger, and isolation. This is his true survival story. If you enjoy such tales, make sure to subscribe to our channel. But now let's dive right into the story. As always, listen closely. You never know when this knowledge might save your life. Chapter 1. The Crash. It was in the middle of a routine training flight during World War II when it suddenly became clear that something was wrong. Engine failure sent the B-24 bomber, Iceberg Inez, spiraling out of control. With panic in his voice, the pilot ordered the crew to bail out. More than 130 miles from their base, only 2 crew members managed to escape. Leon Crane, one of them, found himself dangling from his parachute, feeling the biting Alaskan cold. In the distance, he watched as the plane crashed into the wilderness and burst into flames. This was only the beginning of his 81-day ordeal. Upon landing in the frozen Alaskan wilderness, Crane immediately searched for other survivors. He spotted Sergeant Richard Pompeo's parachute, but found no sign of him. His next instinct was to walk to the crash site to look for survivors and supplies. However, the quarter-mile journey was impossible due to the deep snow and freezing temperatures. Realizing the futility of his search, Crane turned towards a small frozen river, hoping it might lead him to safety. While it was immediately clear that the 3 remaining passengers in the plane couldn't have survived, it was later found that Sergeant Richard Pompeo, who also used a parachute, did not survive either. Chapter 2. The struggle begins. In the midst of the terrifying crash, Crane had no time to think. He faced an immediate and daunting survival challenge. The Alaskan winter was unforgiving. Without protection, he wouldn't survive the night. Using his parachute, he created a makeshift shelter. The thin fabric provided some insulation from the freezing winds. Luckily, Crane was wearing one of the new down parkas the army was testing, which helped keep the cold at bay. Next, Crane needed fire. He had 2 matchbooks, but lighting a fire in the snow with the wind howling around him was nearly impossible. He found a letter from his father in his pocket and used it as tinder, successfully igniting a small flame. This fire became his lifeline, providing warmth and a crucial psychological boost in the overwhelming cold. Surviving the first night was both a physical and mental challenge. As it was December in the Alaskan wilderness, night meant around 20 hours of absolute darkness. Crane spent that long, cold night huddled near his small fire, fighting off despair. For the next week, he remained near the crash site, hoping for rescue. Chapter 3. No help in sight. Days passed, and rescue never arrived. Crane had no food, and his makeshift shelter offered minimal protection against the brutal Alaskan winter. The realization that he was truly alone and couldn't just wait for help began to sink in. He decided to follow the small frozen river he had found, hoping it might lead him back to civilization, or at least provide a better chance of finding food and shelter. Each step was arduous. The deep snow and freezing temperatures sapped his strength. After some time trudging through the snow, Crane's perseverance paid off. He stumbled upon a small cabin. Inside he found a stove, canned food, a rifle, and other essential survival gear. This cabin became his refuge. The stove provided much-needed heat, and the canned food kept him nourished. For the first time since the crash, he had a sense of security. Initially, he expected that the owner might return at some point, but this didn't happen for the next 6 weeks. During the days, sometimes even for more than 1 day, Crane explored the area, hoping to find signs of a nearby village or any person who could help him get rescued. But he was alone in that area. At that time, he didn't know that he was more than 100 miles from the nearest civilization. As time passed, the food supply dwindled, and he realized he needed to take action to survive. Chapter 4. Leaving the Shelter. Leaving the shelter was the only option. Crane didn't take this decision lightly. He spent days contemplating his next move, fully aware of the dangers that lay ahead. With his supplies dwindling and no hope of rescue, he knew he couldn't stay. Armed with the rifle and what little food he had left, he set out once more into the harsh Alaskan wilderness, driven by the sheer will to survive. For another 2 weeks, Crane wandered through the unforgiving landscape, following the small frozen river that had led him to the cabin. Each day was a struggle against the elements. The deep snow, freezing temperatures, and treacherous ice made every step a challenge. Crane's survival instincts kept him moving, even when his body screamed for rest. He had no clear direction, only his instincts guiding him through the relentless terrain. After days of exhausting travel, Crane's determination was rewarded. He stumbled upon another cabin. This one, like the first, was stocked with vital supplies, more canned food, a stove, and other survival essentials. This discovery provided a temporary reprieve from his struggles. Crane used the cabin to rest, regain his strength, and plan his next steps. He knew he couldn't stay indefinitely. He had to keep moving if he wanted to survive. The time spent in the cabin allowed him to gather his thoughts, ration his supplies, and prepare for the next leg of his journey. Chapter 5. The Final Phase of Struggle. As Leon Crane ventured beyond the safety of the second cabin, he entered the final and most grueling phase of his survival ordeal. He never knew if this journey would be successful, and his food supply dwindled with each passing day. Despite the uncertainty, he kept walking, ultimately covering more than 100 miles. The mental and physical challenges couldn't have been greater. Each day presented new obstacles. The terrain was treacherous, with hidden ice patches and deep snowdrifts that could easily lead to injury. Crane had to be constantly vigilant, using his navigational skills to find the safest path forward. The weather was unpredictable, with sudden storms that could turn a difficult journey into a near impossible one. Crane's survival hinged on his ability to adapt and persevere in the face of these challenges. As the weeks passed, Crane's physical condition deteriorated. The relentless cold and inadequate nutrition took their toll, making every step more painful than the last. Yet, his determination never wavered. He knew that stopping was not an option. To survive, he had to keep moving. The drive to find help, to live, kept him putting one foot in front of the other, even when his body screamed for rest. Several weeks had now passed, and on a flat passage Crane saw a wilderness airstrip. Chapter 6. The Rescue. The sight of the airstrip filled Crane with a renewed sense of hope. He knew it represented a link to civilization and the possibility of rescue. As Crane explored the area around the airstrip, he discovered another cabin, this time with smoke rising from its chimney. This was the first sign of human presence he had seen in weeks. His heart raced as he approached the cabin, hoping that help was finally within reach. A man emerged from the cabin, looking surprised to see Crane. He quickly invited him inside, providing warmth, food, and shelter. Crane recounted his unbelievable story of survival. The hunter ensured that Crane was flown out the next day. Crane was finally safe. Leon Crane's rescue marked the end of an incredible journey of survival. His story is a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the determination to overcome even the most daunting challenges, paired with a stroke of luck. As Crane later found out, such cabins with food inside are typical for Alaska and meant for people who get lost. For Crane, they played a crucial role in his survival. Yes, he had a lot of luck, but it was his determination that enabled him to survive for 81 days. We hope you enjoyed today's survival story. Let us know in the comments what you found most interesting about this true tale. If you have specific stories you want us to cover, we are eager to hear about them as well. For now, check out these 2 incredible stories that will give you chills as well. Until next time, stay curious and stay strong.